Well, this morning starts out with an epic fail. We spent a good few hours scratching my head trying to figure out what was wrong with this thing. It had a fault where D0 would stick low all the time and not allow the 259 over there to enable the RAM or IO. It turned out I had a bent pin on my test ROM there. Anyways, the upshot of that is it's got a couple of shiny new parts and the CPU has been reflowed. Anyways, swiftly moving on. The board has a bit of an unusual wear pattern. It's got some minor corrosion all over the board. You can see it right there, around there, but it's got a more concentrated bloom of corrosion here and here. I'm going to scratch that off a bit, traces underneath are fine. I think what has happened there is the battery on the board, the original battery for this board was fine, but I think this board's been sitting on top of another one, sort of like this way around with another board underneath it with the battery sort of here. But anyways, that's not why we're here. You just saw for the start of the video the board is working. The traces underneath the pitting look okay, and the board's probably been like this for quite a long time. I mean, it actually looks, I don't see any green anywhere, so it looks like the corrosion's been stopped. Anyways, this board comes from something that has been brought over to me to investigate. You saw this board a few weeks ago. It's from an Italian job, and I think it's the Italian job itself that's the problem. Hold on. So quickly grabbed the Gladiator's ROM card that I use for testing everything, and we're booted up and showing a meter fault, which is perfectly what it's supposed to do. So I'm going to grab the ROM card from the game in question. Game in question, by the way, is this near mint Italian job. Looks absolutely gorgeous, except right now it's not working. Looking in here, this game's actually in very, very good condition. A little bit of corrosion up there. I've got the early Maygay black power supply. Don't see much. A little bit of corrosion in that cable there. Where's the power cable? Power cable is here. Power cable looks okay too. And excuse the mess. The ROM card itself from the game is booting up without an issue. So, fault is not on board. Right, so we turn it on. Not working in the machine, so pin 3 there is the V-Sense. I got a paltry 1.4 volts coming out, rising slightly, and then pin 5 over here is the VMM supply, which is 1.3 volts. So it's just a bad power supply. That's all we've got. We've got a bad power supply. It's not on the 5V rail. The 5V rail is nice and solid at 4.9. It's in the V-Sense circuit, which is a very, very common fault with these. There's a couple of capacitors and 2 diodes in that power supply there that always burn out. So, I could probably get this game to run just by changing this power supply over. Won't get lamps or anything, but we could do it as a test. Yeah, I actually decided against doing that. I think all we're going to have to do here is do some work to this. So, how does it come out? Leave, yeah, there's just that one bolt there, and then the whole thing will slide out. Okay, that's coming out of there. Let's just pull this connector off for a minute. Yeah, a little bit of corrosion on the connector there. Well, I say these things have been in arcades for 20-25 years or more. So that can just live up there, that can stay there. It is not the issue. It might be eventually. You might have to deal with that corrosion eventually, but not right now. There's your shiny new parts there. U6, U11 and U31 have been changed out. They didn't need to be changed out, but they have. Let's get this out of here. Air fleas weren't attached. So, I think, yeah, that's just enough threaded gap. Coffee or something spilled on that at some point in its life. Look at that. Interesting. Right, gap comes out like that. Yeah, some spilled on that. Sticky residue. There's out. Something fell at the cabinet. It's probably just nut from underneath. Yeah, it was. Take this out. Let's see. So turn it over and it's had some work done to it, but it's a kind of, yeah, you can see that shiny residue in there as well. Something definitely leaked. It's all over the front of this area here. The power supply has had some work done to it previously. It really doesn't look amazing. Big power resistor's been replaced there, so I get a reflection off the thing, but yeah, just see it. I'll take this out to the work area. Just leave it upside down like this. Get a better look at it. Yeah. That's one way to attach the earth. Had some wildlife in it at some point. Yeah. It's pretty... Sorry, you're looking at connector there. It's this here. He's bulged. He's all bulged out. That but the board is manky. Right along that edge connector, the board's manky. And the case. The case has got that sticky residue all on the inside of it. I'm going to have to get my socket set and get the board out. At the very least clean up all that mess. I wonder what's been spilled in it. You see it all in the front there. Is that coffee or just lots of cigarette grease or beer or something? It's not doing the cabinet any favours, that's for sure. It's eating some of the paint away. Yeah, what's this? Hold on, fuse 3 to this one here. What does this look like? This. Faulty? Question mark. Has this been repaired before? And that's stuck in there. Hold on. You know, look at that shit. Oh, that's getting all over my finger. 12 volt fuse looks okay. Right. Not going back in there very well. There it goes. You just screw in like that. Don't need to be too tight. Right. And we need to start troubleshooting this and investigate the V-sense circuit. First thing I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take all this out. I'm going to clean all the case up because the case is absolutely bogging. Got a Scottish phrase, it's bogging! And that residue's got, like I said, that residue's got all inside there, so whatever it is, that's all coming out, it's all going to get cleaned. Well, didn't take much to diagnose this. The problem is actually all that grease. Power connector's covered in it, especially on that end. Put the light on a minute. Just see, focus. Struggling to focus a wee bit, hold on. Come on. There. The connector's covered in that grease. It's like through the top of it. Ugh. But I reset it a few times. I mean, look at that. It's manky. I'm going to take this board out of here and clean it. But I'm on the V-sense pin there. And it's running. V-sense, that might be VMM. Yeah, that's the VMM. I'm looking at 12 volt unregulated there. But it's working. It's just degrees. There was some recently, I don't know if someone was spilled or whatever, but okay, decisions. I can change the power supply entirely. And I've got one sitting there. And then clean this one up. Or I can just clean this one up. I think we'll just clean this one up. It's like a bloody sticky paste. Beer, maybe? No beer in the arcade. It's probably something that's been there for a while, but the corrosion light's just got the better of it. I don't know. These machines live a hard life. Don't know if I can zoom in enough. Let me see. Yeah, just enough. Let's see. Oh yeah, look inside. Let's see if the flash will go on. See? Ugh. You see it there. I mean, it's not burnt, it's greasy. It's honestly just grease. I'll put a spare power connector on it, that's for sure. I've got a spare lead and then I'll repin this one. But my God. See, what happens is they're in arcades or they're in cafes and people spill coffee, beer, all sorts in the back of them, and just natural air movements, dust and cigarette smoke gets inside them. But this is an extreme example. I mean, look at all that sticky residue up here. And it's the same, it's just that grease. Look, it comes right off. It also reminds me of when you spill cola or beer or something over the back of something. Don't know, I didn't see any evidence of that in the back of the cabinet. How would they even get in there? Has an operator or a service tech or something spilled their can of Coke or something when they've been in the back of it? I don't know. But you can see it there. I mean, and it's just cleaning off. It's literally just cleaning off. Right, this board here's got a date with the IPA for sure. But honestly, the fault with this machine is purely mechanical. It's dirt. It's basically dirt. Here and this and here. So to remove these 7mm nuts hold the board down. So what's this? 6mm nut. Yeah, 6mm nut holds the regular on. Be careful not to lose that little grommet. Look at this wee bit. It's a wee bit burnt on the ground pins, but they always are. Could be heat damaged. Had a look, the connector's okay, it's just been getting warm. Got to remember, this is about 25-year-old, 30-year-old. Right, let's get this off. Oh, board's out. Board is out, and it's got that sticky residue all over the pins. You can see it all over the top of the board there. It is disgusting. Good job that doesn't connect to electricity, yeah. Looking at it though, somebody's been in it at some point in the past. Capacitor's been replaced. They left the legs a bit long. And didn't use snap-in tape either, but the cap's been replaced. So I'll snip these legs down to size. And I'll get on with cleaning this. I'm also going to clean all of this. It is manky. Try to clean up there. I went to B&M of all places, and I've got a nail scrubbing brush. Just dropped it on the floor, but never mind. I've got some bamboo toothbrushes. Healthy 11, yeah. If you're a power supply. I got the wooden ones because then I can write on them what I've used them for. I'm going to use one for putting flux on and a couple for cleaning. Sorry B&M, but your toothbrushes tend to be better for cleaning other things other than teeth. Anyways, yeah, pick that up off the floor in a minute. Get a bit of light in here. It's very, very dusty. A couple of spiders been living in it. Yeah. Not to YouTube, one of my favourite channels on the background. Don't copyright strike this. Alright. Just take you in here. Bridge rectifier's got a big ass dry joint. So that's going to need reflowed. See there, you can, right here, you can see right round the pin. It's going to need a bit of flux and a reflow. What we got? I'll reflow that as a marker course, I think. Let's get all the guff off. These pins all look alright. Again, you can see it's been heating up a wee bit there. Yeah. It's generally just manky as well. You can see it all over. IPA will sort that out. Right, that's looking a damn sight better. Maybe still a wee tiny bit of residue up there I can clean off, but it's all been alcohols. See the streaks of alcohol still drying a wee bit in the back. I might make one more pass on that. But we need to deal with this. You can see it better now. The joint's gone there. Power supply wise, I've taken the control panel out. I can't get the dust out from behind there, but that's all potted anyway, so that's not much of a problem. That's the mains filter area. They've had the good intelligence of putting it behind the pot so you can't zap yourself on it. I believe that was for fluorescent lights back in the day. They still have the attachment. I don't know if some machines that are out there, maybe the casino machines still have that. Still be a bit of dust up in the corner there, but I'm not prepared to take all these fuse holders out. Got this all sparkly clean though. Got all the residue off. So I'm leaving it all to dry for the minute, and then I'll give that another dry wipe. Leave it to dry. I'll come back to it in a bit, and I will put the board back in and start retesting. When you disassemble it, one of these, make sure you keep the little spacer with the screw, because I'm dropping it now, but the screw's a little bit of, the screw has to sit to the level of this, which the heatsink plate for the regulator, so they put little spacers here and here, so the board, when you put the board on, the regulator sits flush with there, and sits flush with these. Otherwise it would just sink down and it would short out and it wouldn't fit here properly. So just remember that you keep the spacers. I actually lost one of them, couldn't find it anywhere, and it turned out to be in one of my sockets over there. Right, so yeah, I've cleaned up these edges as well with a fiberglass pen. I've cleaned up those edges there with a fiberglass pen, they're much shinier now. Yeah, do need to go one more pass over with alcohol wipe maybe. Maybe I have to reflow that capacitor there as well. That doesn't look too healthy, the one in the middle. That's for the 12 volt. Yeah. And that's all assembly work, that's just a case of firing up the iron. Take that solder off and redo it. Our resident beer, or whatever it was, will no longer peel apart. There we go. Now I need to clean the board again. Get rid of the solder splashes, but there you go. There's better connections there. Now, turn it over. I'll zoom you in and look here. Broken, broken, broken. Cold solder joints. So let's flux all these. Take the solder off and redo them. Yeah, my bamboo brushes for B&M, flux applicator, cleaning the board, and vinegar scrubber. Got the wooden bamboo ones because you can write on them, and the Sharpie sticks to them. Can't do that with plastic ones. Just got to be careful when you're resoldering these. The pins move. You see a couple of them are sitting a little bit proud there. It shouldn't matter too much though. They're very long pin headers. The plug will grip them no problem. Focus, you bugger. Focus! I don't know. Does anybody find this much problems with focusing things? Come on. Zooming in. Yeah, that's better. Just need to clean it up, but they're no longer cracked. That one may need redone. I'll double check that, but there isn't a big ring around them anymore. Right, clean up time. So I noticed as well that resistor here had a cold solder joint. It doesn't have, where is it? It doesn't have a very good pad on this side. What can I run here? Yeah, there. Doesn't have a good pad on this side, so I have soldered it on that side. So it's all back together.
So this must have been using that other version of DOS that used that lower memory, and unfortunately, that disk doesn't exist. Like I don't have it.
That's the V-Sense.
Image of that anywhere on the internet. So luckily, I have that RAM on here, so I'll be able to use this disk image.
VMM.
It's not just a picture, by the way. They actually have a cryoflux.
And good 5-volt supply. Now, I've showed this before, but I'll show it again. To test the 12-volt line. Truck out of the clip. Truck is out clipping a little bit of solder in the ground one end of your crock clip. Start with my finger. PSU relay pin, pin 14. And there's the 12-volt line. So the 12 volts is working, and it's working strong. Take the reel off, it works. So
there's a potentiometer right there. Let's try adjusting that. So this uses
we're working.
Motor, so it's completely speed controlled by these ICs right.
Time to put it back in the cabinet.
Let's see if this changes it.
Tell some of this as well. Strong capacitors in it. It's powered off now.
That's too much. You know, it's funny. I never even thought to try to calibrate this drive, and it's interesting actually.
And it's not dropping.
Here, I don't know if it shows
There it goes.
Camera, but with my studio lights, well, the overhead lights, there is a little
Strong capacitors in it.
frequency. So this
I think the capacitors are new.
50 hertz and the other one is 450 hertz, and now it is rock steady and not even moving. Well, it's moving ever so slightly.
Time to reassemble the game.
On the screen.
Right, starting to put it back together. Got that bolt back in there. That's looking a lot nicer. Hard to put this spiral wrap back on. And pace slide controller lead goes over there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to fire it up with nothing attached for the minute. And make sure we light up. There we go. We'll light up and we're alarming. Alright. Well, that's progress. We know the amp's working. Right, let's start reassembling. I've got all these leads to put back on. Shouldn't take too long. I need to tape this battery up. It's hanging in midair right now. Where does this one go? Switch matrix. What's this one? Alpha display. The alpha display there. Yeah, that's the alpha display. That one's entirely the wrong place. That one here should be going up there. That's just been stored there. Right, okay. Right. So I'm just double checking I've got the reels hooked up right here because this plug's too short. There is a real plug. There is a real loom. Oh yeah, you can see a pin's broken off. You see it right there. It's blew one of the grounds off. Again, I'm not going to give it too much worry because it's been running like that for a while. I believe. I don't even see where the other line is. Sometimes it's missing. There is another one around here. Sometimes this end ground goes missing. The plug burns up and then it can disintegrate and fall off. But again, I don't think I'm going to deal with that because somebody added this. And like I said earlier in the video, this has been running like that for a while. So, right. all assembled. Good job we're going to try and stretch that up to the coin mech, yeah, because that, to the auxiliary displays, because that turns out to be the coin mech. I've put a couple of self-tapping screws on, one up there and one down here because the mountings were all missing. The board's shaking about quite a lot when you try and fit it, which is not always good for it. I think we have a winner. We're on a tract. And now we're on start. Yeah, I think we have a winner. Volume control's terrible. Switch it off there. The volume control's absolutely terrible. But yeah, I think we got a winner. There's another orb just went across that. I keep seeing them all the time. Right, so just looks like it's been grease or cola or coffee, whatever that was. Yeah, don't worry about that. By the way, don't worry about that. That thing there, it's just a missing real drive. It's not used in this game. One effective operation of it. So, it's getting late tonight. We shall do a full playtest in the morning. I think in fact I'll leave this video here at the minute so I can get it out there. Because this is all singing and dancing. And I've got a couple of other things to do tonight. I've got something I want to do with my laptop. I want to try and get virtual workbench on it. Oh, virtual bench is called? No, virtual box, sorry. I want to try and get virtual box with Windows 2000 on it so I can use my vintage programmers on it. As well as the parallel port and some other things. That'll be a whole video in itself, probably. Can we see? Can I sneak round here and see what the alpha display is actually saying? I don't know. I don't know if you can see that. I certainly couldn't see it. Anyways. Yeah, power supply's back up. That's a different cable, by the way. I've put the spare cable on. These tiny things are murder, but I've got it in there. There's a couple of those cables floating about that I don't like. There's that one there, there's this one there. I think what I'll do is I'll put them in a bit of terminal block and take them out of the way. But it's alive. I'm going back to the arcade after a good thorough playtest and a gameplay video from moi. Anyways, out of 3 lights of life, say it all. And bye bye for now. Couldn't quite end the video without showing you it all singing and dancing. And all that up. It's a lovely looking machine. Right. Love those big displays. Maygay technology might be a bit naff, but they knew how to make a machine. It's lovely. So that'd be that. Right, I'm out of here.